What does Stephen Fry mean when he said, I'd hate to meet Jim Davidson and find out he's a nice bloke?
Well, he's obviously talking about perception, isn't he? He's talking of the perception of Jim Davidson, the comic. It must be Jim Davidson, the man. So he's saying, I don't like what he stands for. I don't like what he talks about. And I'd hate to like him. I tapped him on the shoulder at a dinner. I said, I'm quite a nice bloke. Oh, darling, sit down. So I did. And we had a good old chat about cricket.
Did you?
I think he's just been awarded a knighthood, hasn't he?
I don't know. Sir Stephen
I think
Fry.
he has, yeah. Sir Stephen.
The knighthood thing, I think, is weird. Anyway, who's deciding that? Have you got one?
No, I'm an officer of the British Empire, OBE.
OBE. Was that a proud moment?
Yeah, pretty good.
Did you meet the royals?
The Prince of Wales gave it to me.
Which one was that? Charles?
Charles. This is year 2001. I was given it by Tony Blair, would you believe?
Right. Bloody hell.
I know. I started a dialogue with Tony Blair. I wrote a funny, shitty letter to him when he did this thing on the Houses of Parliament or whatever it was, saying family values and this and it's because I don't impression, but it's the parents have got to take control of the children. And 2 nights later, his kid got arrested in Leicester Square for being pissed and punching. So something happened.
Really?
Yeah. So I wrote to him and I said, what a lovely speech. And I said to him, I'm obviously a conservative and hate your guts, but I really felt for you as you wriggled out of that one. And he wrote back. And then I wrote to him because I formed a charity called the British Forces Foundation. So when I went entertaining the troops everywhere, and I was in Basra the day the war ended. So we all took our flak jackets off and I was walking through Basra marketplace with a film crew and I was mobbed by Iraqi people saying, thank you for coming. I thought, Jesus Christ, big break, or the Generation Game's been on in Baghdad.
Yeah.
Surely not. They thought I was Tony Blair.
Oh.
They really thought I was Tony Blair. I swear to God. Thank you. And in the end, I just put up with it. I said, no, I'm not him. And then I went, oh, thank you. Sherry sends her love. I thought, fuck, I could be assassinated. So I wrote to him and told him. And strangely enough, he wrote, we then swapped letters with one another. It's bizarre.
You become mates?
No, there's the bridge too far. I don't think you'd become mates with people that famous. They're probably using me as much as I was using him. And then he wrote to me and said, who's the bloke who did that song, the theme from Robin Hood? Here we go. Who's that bloke again? Brian Adams?
Right.
The Brian Adams wants to do a show for the troops in Iraq. Can you lot arrange it? And I said, where would we be doing this? And he said, in a barracks. I said, Prime Minister, what will we be celebrating? There's people in Iraq are poor, starving. They're killing themselves trying to dig up the copper electricity cables. Wouldn't it be better if we did it for everybody? So when I disagreed with him, I then got a letter from one of his people. And that was the last correspondence I had with Tony Blair. But I got an OBE.
Why were you like a fixer for Brian Adams?
Well, because I was in charge of British troop entertaining worldwide with the British Forces Foundation.
That makes sense then.
Yeah.
Because if it was just him saying, can you just get me Brian Adams? Then it would be a bit weird.
Yes, Prime Minister, running all the way. Running all the way, Gov.
Is it true you started when a regular pub comedian it didn't turn up?
Yeah.
That's mad.
Yeah.
How did you know what to say?
Well, I didn't. But I had a couple of pints of lager and a couple of nosefuls of amphetamine sulfate. Yeah. And on I went.
What did you say?
I just went on and did a load of Jimmy Jones's jokes because I used to go and see Jimmy Jones, a great comedian. Funny enough, he signed for my TV studio now. He's 84.
Wow.
So I just went and told a load of jokes. I had some stimulants and on I went and told a load of jokes. And then they said, that was really good. Come and do it next Sunday. So I did. And then I got a job in a pub in Lewisham telling jokes. £6 I got. For Sunday lunchtime spot, £6.
So again, but that's like you could probably buy a house for £6. That's what I'm thinking.
I had two wives on the strength of that. No, it was fun.
Yeah,
it was fun. And there's a funny story about that first gig in the Black Bull in Lewisham. Sunday lunchtime, I turned up. There was nobody there at all, apart from a blonde woman disc jockey, and her name was Linda Regan. And you might have seen her on Facebook at the moment. Her husband was Brian Murphy, the one that was in Youth of Joyce and Brian Murphy.
Don't know.
Actor. He just passed away. And she's now a famous novelist. And she was my first ever audience I played just to her, the disc jockey. And then a load of black guys came in, about 20 of them, a football team.
Yeah.
So, I steamed into them and loved it. And that was it. And that was really the drug of people laughing at me and liking me.